Good morning from California. I am really excited about this morning. We've got a great program, and I'm excited to have our guest today. He's going to come live to us here in a little bit, and it's going to be fun to have this guest on. An absolute honor. I hope everybody's doing well out there, and let's get started today. Show this morning. I'm waiting for Davide here for a second. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Davide Bollati, the president and founder. How are you, sir?
Great to be here. Have a nice chat with you.
Yeah, back to you. It looks stunning there. You're obviously in the garden, I can tell, at the village.
Yeah. Well, it's like the month of May is the best month of the year. All the flowers blossoming, a wonderful smell. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Unfortunately, there are not many enjoying it because the village these days looks a bit, not as crowded. We never close for one day, but it's not that crowded. So we have the chance to enjoy it all for ourselves.
That is fantastic. So just give us an update real quick before we move on. How is Italy doing? How are the businesses doing? How are salons doing? Are they opening up, or what are you seeing?
Well, it has been tough because we shut down the salon business in Italy in May 9. So it has been, March 9. So it has been 2 months, going for 2 months and a half. So right now, as you know, Italy has been hit very hard. It has been for certain, for a couple of weeks, it was really tough. And then we started to, then we went into lockdown, and the Italians behaved quite well on the lockdown. They've been quite diligent. So now the curve is going down very much, and we are ready to reopen. So what is called phase 2. The government left hairdressers and beauty centers as the last ones to open, along with the restaurants and bar, which is something that we were not agreeing at all, because the reopening will be a reopening that for sure will consider social distancing, physical distancing, and also by appointment only, and so the productivity will go down a little bit, even if you expand the time of operation. Cost of operation will go up a little bit because you need to have some protection, some protective items. So what we have done, because of this, we went to the government and we say, hey, we shouldn't be the last one to open. We should be the first one to open, because of that limitations that we will have. So to play a fair game, we should be the first one to open, because it's not about when to open, it's about how we are going to open. Right. So we had a discussion. We sent literally thousands of emails to the email of the Prime Minister of Italy, and the guy was like, we took him by, he couldn't handle us anymore. So he said, on his Facebook page, he answered us.
He caved.
Yeah, he answered us like the Prime Minister. It's like we kind of did a digital attack to his email. So we said, listen, no, but he was very educated, very, we were not aggressive in a way. We were very elegant, let's say. We explained the situation of our industry, and then he said, okay, even in national TV, they reported the news. They said, okay, I promise you that if the curve of contagion goes down, I will reopen it before June 1st. Because the plan was to reopen June 1st, which is almost 3 months. 3 months is a lot.
That's a long time.
3 months is a lot. One interesting conversation we had is that some people within the company would say, okay, we need to go, because as Davines, how much we are in the professional, in the hairdressing industry, and that's the only thing we do, no? Yeah. So some people said, show your roots, do not wait. It's worth waiting for your salon to reopen. But unfortunately, some clients don't want to wait. They go to the supermarket, they buy their own thing, and some hairdressers have been creative enough to say, okay, I'm going to give you consultation, virtual digital consultation. So we had a lot of discussion about it, and then we said, at the end, few of our clients that wanted to go this way, we try to help them. But that's in this situation, we just try to help our part.
I think we've got to do the best we can. Everybody's trying to look for that survival mode to keep moving forward. I applaud your efforts to open first and not like I said, it's not when, it's how. I think that's really important for salons to understand that, right? So it's good. Well, I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad the village is doing great. It's fantastic to see you. We've been together now for 11 years. Wow. I don't know if you know that. And so the partnership has been off the charts amazing. I mean, I couldn't be happier with your U.S. team, the team in Parma, and frankly, everybody we've met that's ever been involved with Davines has been so great. But there was something that always hits me when I'm talking with you, and we've had chats over the years and getting to know you. And one of the things that was always intriguing to me is your level of curiosity. Now, most entrepreneurs, will have some level of curiosity higher than most because we seek to understand, right? And we want to learn new things. And most entrepreneurs might learn it and apply it. But you seem to learn things through curiosity and create. And that is amazing to me. Where did that come from? Where did that level of curiosity and wanting to know, where did that come from in your life?
I don't know. I study pharmacy, and so maybe it's that background of like the researcher mind. That is what makes me happy. It's not what you find, but what you search, which is it could be a bit frustrating, on the journey. But it's not about the search for happiness, the happiness of the search. That is what makes me excited. Some people say, well, you are always like the glass half empty. No, it's to research, to go, to explore, to that what curiosity moves the world. If you have if it's moved by the good principle, it's curiosity with the right purpose, not curiosity for the sake of it. So
right.
It's Davines is about research and development. So that is
keeps you on your toes.
Is the nature of the beast.
Take us back. Now Davines is in its 23rd year, I guess, right? 1998-ish.
Davines was created in 1983.
83. That's right. 83.
Yeah. So for the first 10 years, we were doing contract packaging, contract manufacturing. In 2023, it's going to be 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah. I joined 10 years after. I joined in the beginning of the 90s. It's been already a while.
Yeah, been a while. So take us back to that. Take us back to the beginning.
No, the beginning was very pioneering. Was very small mom and pop. It was like my father and my mother My father was more in the commercial side, my mother more in the manufacturing of it. At one point, many years ago, there was this professor that was like a professor, a professor in cosmetic chemistry. My parents, they look up to him so much. When he was coming, it was like, oh wow, the professor is coming. He was coming sometimes on the weekend to have lunch with us. And at one point, I was in high school, and I asked him genuinely what I should do to help my parents. What school should I go? And he said, do pharmacy. So it seems a smart guy. So I said, I better follow what his advice. And it was good that I still know that was one of these turning points in life, right? Because if you would have told me business, study business, but it would have been a different conversation, a different set of values. So I enjoy very much to do this scientific career, to study pharmacy and cosmetic chemistry, and then business comes. Business is at the end is common sense, I would say. Yeah.
Do the right things. You at some point turned, and you told me a story, and I loved it. But you turned the world around for yourself by attending Hong Kong, and you went to the World's Fair.
Oh, but well, that was no, the first time I was. I think I went to Cosmoprof. I went to some trade exhibition because there is a Cosmoprof Hong Kong, and at that time there was a hairdresser from Canberra in Australia. He was from the Philippines, and I met one guy that was at the work at the Italian embassy in Canberra, in the capital of Australia, and he had this barber. So he convinced his barber in Canberra to move to Hong Kong to sell Davide's. It's like, okay, why not? That was 94.
Wow.
That was 94. It was September 94. So that was the first time we had this international experience. It's good. Our industry is so good because of that, because it's the human factor, right? It's
right.
It's driven by humans, and there is no robot or virus that is going to take our industry away.
There's nobody going to rival it for sure. You have been, I don't think it's any secret to the industry. You have been the industry leader in sustainability. Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, the inspiration at the beginning was quite unstructured, I would say, quite instinctive at the beginning, and then little by little it became more and more organized. Then in 2005, under Davide, we put two very powerful words: sustainable beauty, and so this is something that we should embed in the brand. Since then, we went into this journey. It's a long journey, and it's more and more complicated. It seems only like you just see the tip of the iceberg, and still, even if there is an iceberg below the tip, the iceberg is still not big enough because the more we move, on these issues, and you see how the world. The other day, I was like, there was Al Gore that did a keynote speech in the Oxford University, and we went through. I was following him because I admire him quite a lot, and he was going back to his Inconvenient Truth in 1992. Now it's like we're almost 30 years from the beginning of these discussions, and now we see that things are more and more clear. We go from one crisis to the other. We go from one climate crisis, and then we have the fires, and then we have the migrations, and then we have the virus, and then then we have the economic crisis. Like, come on, it's like all these things are so interconnected. All these things, they are a consequence of you. That's why now it's about systemic thinking. We cannot we can. It's great to think that we are all superheroes, super countries, super communities, super cities. But there is not one government, not one company, not one society, not one city that can handle these things alone.
Right.
We those things, those problems are systemic problems, and sustainability is about that. It's about systemic evolution. It's challenging. It's
It is
challenging.
very, very challenging.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
glass
I
is
was,
yeah. In Davines, the glass is half empty and half full on this one.
right. You know, and it's interesting. I wanted to ask you, where do you think we're going to go with our efforts towards sustainability with our new world that we're living in? You know, the two service industries that you spoke of earlier, probably the most significant in the world is restaurants and salons or beauty services. And all of a sudden we're going into single-use product everywhere, and we're going to have a different problem. I mean, restaurants are going into having menus on single-use paper, and then we've got gloves and masks already showing up in the gutters and streets, and we're going to use disposable capes, and I mean this thing's going to get bigger and bigger. We're going to have a different problem. How do you see us attacking that in a month or 2 or 3 or 4 years?
On the big chapter, on the big topic of sustainability, you have different sub-chapters. So the first one is circularity. So you need to go to the end of life of the product, and you need to make sure that the end of waste goes back to upcycle. We have in our industry we have this Green Circle Salon organization, and so also on these things, what is important is to find the right materials that can be upcycled, that can be given a second life. So the solution could be a kind of like a circle salon solution, a green circle salon solution. Then there is on a bigger discussion. I think now there is one word that in Davines that we are entertaining a lot, and it's shaping the next frontier of our sustainability. That is regeneration. Regeneration is a word that resonates a lot right now, and all our economic model should be regenerative. So imagine only one moment that if you come up with a product that is regenerative by its nature, by its life cycle assessment, by the way it has been conceived, created, with the raw materials, with the supplies on upstream, downstream. If we could say that the product of regenerative economy are contributing to a better world, that would be like a big thing. So it's all about regenerative economy in the future, and the regenerative economy has to reconsider different stakeholder on the game: nature, social, economic, financial. It's the whole B Corp approach. So that is, I think, this is the new frontier of sustainability.
Yeah, give us a little. That was going to be my next thing. It was always your passion for the B Corp. Can you share a little bit about Davines' relationship with B Corp and how that came about?
B Corp, we went a few years ago to see a TED Talk. And there were two guys here in Italy. There were two guys that talk about B Corp. That was like, I think 5 years ago. And then we started to learn about it. To say, well, it sounds good. It looks like we can mirror us into this organization. Then we started, because it's like, okay, B Corp is good intentions. You have good intentions. You have a good goodwill in the way you do business. But then right now there are a lot of people that have good intentions in the world, but very few are have the discipline to measure it, to say, okay, it's not enough to have a good intention. We need to bring down to heart our good intention, and then in our activities we have to find a way to improve, because when you have a company, it's complicated, it's complex.
Right.
There are a lot of different energy that are pulling you left and right. So we said that's good, because that B Corp community is not only aligned on a higher purpose, on good intention, but also
Let's see if we can get him back one more time. We'll change devices here. Hi, per Paulo. Hi, Silvana. We'll see if we can get Davide back. Let's try it one more time. Go live.
so. Word, are we back?
We're back.
Very good. So here we are experiencing the next crisis that is going to be like a cyber crisis. Can you imagine? Like, it's a little preview of the next one. That's the only one we miss, right?
That's right. That's right. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, we're back. We're back. We're back. We were kind of leaving off with the B Corp conversation.
Yeah, maybe it was not like the right. Oh, B Corp is a great organization. We feel so proud to be part of it. We think that these guys are going, one step further. We can see the development. Now we're working with the United Nations. They are trying to build the B Corp cities. Now you have B cities around the world. You have Edinburgh. You have Mendoza. You have, Amsterdam or London. There are Barcelona is working on this. It's communities of people that have a higher purpose, and that are sharing our values. And that's great, because it's public, it's private, it is multi. It is not only the private sector; it's private and public together.
Right. No, that's great. It's great. I know you've taken a lot of care and passion to be involved with B Corp and inspired a lot of us over here in the States to do better with our business. And
well, in California, you have amazing B Corps, right? Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. So it's a beautiful thing you're involved with there. Let's talk about a gathering that we always enjoy. We love being together. As you know, it's very sad for me that we can't be in salons and can't be together. But let's talk about Worldwide Hair Tour. We obviously had to cancel it this year for very good reason. So what's the future for Worldwide Hair Tour that you can see right
now? The future is we need to redefine a combination of our physical and digital presence. No? And in our industry, the connection, the human relationship is so important. So for sure, that actual crisis taught us many things, that we can be, through things like that. Well, we didn't do them before. We could have done them a year ago. The Zoom, the Teams, because if we are losing some productivity in certain aspect, with this one, we can gain some productivity for sure. So some smart working to reduce a little bit the traffic of 405, for example. That's a good that's a good strategy, right?
now?
But there is a point where we cannot substitute everything. So maybe we'll now it's about what will be the next ratio between physical and digital presence. I don't know. It will be so tough to give up on physical, because we are not geared for only digital. Digital can help, but we need the connection. It's like irreplaceable, definitely irreplaceable. So it depends. There is still uncertainty on our future due to this crisis. I'm glad that California is so fragile and has been hit so much, like Italy. It's a fragile, beautiful ecosystem that has been hit so much recently from different situations, on the fires, for example, recently, and more. At least this time, this crisis has not hit California so as much as in other parts of the U.S. For example, New York, because of the density, there is less density, and that is helping out. So we are not planning. We are not ready to give up on World Rider Tour, but we don't know when we will do it. But we will not give it up. Maybe we'll do it, maybe not as frequent, but we cannot give up things like that.
Yeah.
So we have to wait how the airline industry will readapt, and then of course we need to transition to green economy so much. We need to make an extra effort. That's why, if we want to grow, if we want to keep on doing all the wonderful things that we were doing until last year, we should get much better at sustainable transition, much better. Otherwise, we don't deserve to grow. Otherwise, it's not. Otherwise, it means that we need to change because we are not good enough. We're not good enough to keep on doing what we were doing before,
Right.
the way we were doing them before. So if you want to keep on doing them, we need to get better.
When you get better. There is a lot of messages coming across here that sounds like everybody wants to come back to Parma for Worldwide Hair Tour and support your community and support Italy. I think that's a great idea. Love to be back at the village again. What are the chances of maybe getting us into your hometown?
The fact that Warren Buffett last week came out 100% from all the airline industry, say he had like 10 billion. I was watching, his annual meeting. He had 10 billion invested on airlines, and he said, you know what, I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to come out with the airline business, and good luck to all the airline industry. I hope you'll do well. And he went away. That's not a good sign. But apart from that, I think that I think that the world will carry on. I don't know. Let's wait for the airline industry to see how they redefine their business.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the support. People definitely want to come see you in Parma, see the village again.
Listen, it's a bit depressing here to be alone in this garden, But
right.
Actually, we're not that alone. But because we have a surprise here.
It's not surprise.
Hey, Alberto!
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Alberto.
It's like
Nice to
enjoying
see
the
you.
garden with Davide.
Very nice.
Loving it. I love it. I miss you guys. Miss all the Bassett family, all your DSCs, all your amazing customers. I love them all and just miss you guys.
Yeah.
So the next question, you will answer.
No. They're here for you, not for me. My word.
Bye, Alberto. Well, that's great. Well, I'm excited that we're going to have Worldwide Hair Tour keep going, and I think there's going to be some good times.
So we're going to do some social distancing, but
yeah.
Social distance.
I see the plexiglass between you, so. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, I was thinking about you and I in a similar manner of a loss that we had. We both lost our fathers. Yours recently, mine, a ways back. Mine had a profound influence on me in the way I carried business, even though I was very young. You really spoke eloquently about I can't even say the word today, eloquently about your father. What your father really give you in business life? What did he teach you that you take with you every day?
I think we all, in good or bad, in good or bad ways, a product of our parents. We are a continuation of them. If my father was still alive, in moments like that, he will say, "Don't worry, things will be fine. We have more than enough. We need to, accept the situation and have some, be prudent, be prudent, don't, but also will say, do not compromise on the values. Do not, be close to, here. Well, the system here is different, as you know, in Europe. So here we united as a community, and we are doing our best to because right now we closed down the factory, and so we are doing our best to keep all our workers and to give them there is some government support, and then they are missing a part. So the top management of the company joined together with a solidarity fund to sustain let's say the basic wages, so not to be affected at all from this. So that solidarity is coming out, and the generosity, being grateful for what we have. We have more than enough because at the end, what we need is less than, maybe less than what we have sometimes. In general, no? Like this period makes us think of what are the basic things that we cannot compromise on, and a lot of other stuff maybe is not that necessary.
Right. No, that's for sure. I think there is some really insight into our human behavior, right? Staying at home or just going from work to home, and how much more time we're spending with family, and we can do more with less things. And I think people are starting to discover that. And I think it's going to be powerful for us as we come out of this, and and really try to take advantage of our human nature, right? And change and things that we've got to develop too. And I always try to figure out what is the next step. And I don't know, maybe you've been thinking about this, but what is the next step of society, right? And what's going to come out of this? Every time there's something that happens, something gets invented that's new.
Well, for sure, if you want to be a little materialistic on consumer behavior is going to change. So even luxury value is different. So what was luxury before and what is luxury today? Maybe luxury is different. So that's already, because consumers drive the conversation of the societal changes. No? So the good news for Davide is that we don't have to change anything. It's not like, wow, now we have to change. Before we were doing something, now we need to revolutionize everything. We don't have to change anything. We just have to get better at what we do, because we are not good enough. We need to get better. Then in terms of the world, I don't know, some people say, we have, unfortunately, human beings, they have a very short memory, right? So we tend to forget, and we tend to make so many stupid decisions as a species. We make decisions that are so stupid that we are almost at the risk of extinction. Some people say we will be like the next dinosaurs, or maybe the virus. We are the virus, not this virus, right? That's and so these are some of the conversations of some spiritual leaders. So for sure we need to find different ways to inhabit the planet, and I think that despite our stupidity as a species, I think that is like a strong lesson, and so some of us maybe will accelerate some phenomena. So hopefully, I was like I have a good friend. I was that is doing the Glen Ivy hot spring, right? At the spa there. Mm-hmm. So I know the owner is Ingo. He had a baby this year. He just had a baby. So, oh, this baby is so beautiful. I love it. He became a father for the first time. He said, Ingo, you know that your baby in 2100 will be 100 years old. I'm sorry, 80 years old. Mm-hmm. 2100. How the world will be in 2100? So The baby is called Charlotte. No, it's a little. So we said, okay, let's do a Charlotte plan. So let's envision how the world will be in 2100. So this little Charlotte should be working towards that. You know how
Right.
she wants to see the world. Can you imagine a baby that is born today?
Oh,
if we carry on like this, what's going to happen in 2100?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, what? You know, you're not a hairdresser, right? And neither am I. What's the love for the hairdresser? Where did that come from?
It comes from respecting the heritage, respecting your roots, respecting your destiny in a way. No, because I think each one of us has a destiny, but to have a destiny doesn't mean that you don't have to have faith and hope to change your future. Because okay, I have a destiny. You know, there is nothing I can do. No, you have a certain just to work around your destiny, but you know, keeping your roots solid. Because even though you know that I'm in love with the U.S., I spent amazing years in New York, and you know, I miss you guys so much. You know, but at one point I said, you know what? It's like I have to go back to my little village. You know, that's look who we have. You know,
it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Venice Beach guy here. You know?
That is awesome. So why does Davide stay focused at salons? I mean, obviously you could do anything with Davide today. It has become an unbelievable organization. Why stay focused in that arena? Like other companies, they dove off and went into beauty supplies. I mean, you and I spent a little time maybe 10 years ago. We both walked into a beauty supply here, and I could see the disgust on your face. You just didn't know. You know, I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it just was like you knew your product line didn't belong there. So where does that belief come from?
No, because money doesn't buy you happiness. We got that. And also, because money doesn't buy you happiness, what buys happiness instead? What gives you happiness? Well, it gives you a sense of belonging. It gives a sense of a journey, a sense of a sense of an evolution, and a sense of respect for where you come from. So, and it's what I like is to look at the evolution of the company in all these years. Not because when you grow too fast, then where do you go?
Right.
You go so fast that then you don't know what to do. You have to sell the company.
Yeah.
So
there's no roots, right? The tree grows too fast with no roots.
Yeah, it's not natural. When you grow it a little bit, you grow in organic. You know, in the financial world, they say organic. Okay, organic is not enough. Organic. It's like, you know, organic growth. The financial people don't like organic growth because it's not enough. You always have to add a little bit of, you know, to inject organic with something non-organic.
Right.
You need to have, you know, you need to buy, you need to do, you know, so you need to do extraordinary financial activity, M&As. No, I think organic is great. Organic is great because you don't when you fall down, it doesn't hurt you that much. When you grow non-organically, then it can be painful. And if you don't want to sell the company, which I don't think selling the company will make me happier. Yeah. That's why I don't sell it.
Yeah.
I mean,
what would you do anyway? You couldn't talk to me.
No, exactly. And then you lose. It's like you're losing half. You know, you're losing half of your. You lose your leg and your arm, but you can buy a private jet. Well, okay, but you know, I prefer to keep my leg and my arm and drive a bicycle.
Well, I tell you, you know, Davide has attracted some phenomenal people, right? I mean, it really comes down to that. I mean, people drive your business. You know, you've got an incredible human being right next to you. You know, obviously worked with me for what 6-7 years or so. You know,
Thanks,
what do you think that people get attracted? I mean, you have a way to get good people. So how is that? How can our salon owners learn from you on that level to attract good people?
Well, first of all, you have one Alberto every, it's like you don't find many Albertos around. That's for sure. But yes, we are good people. I think we are. I think we have a genuine passion. I think people know that we don't play the game, so it's good to be. United for a higher I think it's the value system of the culture, the culture of the company, the value system. It's not about we had a discussion today about communication. It's not about how many likes we have. It's it's also the quality of the content. No, it's the quality of the content. Is not the quantity.
Right.
And then of course you want to grow it because it's good to. Now it's like we were impressed because this year we enter into the top 10 brands in the world on professional haircare. Yeah. When you look at all the others, it's like, wow, these are all the big guys, and we would like to keep on growing without losing what we stand for, because all the others, they have a different ball game. It's a different business model. So we want. I think we want to stick to our business model because of this industry needs it.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think you mean to salons? The Davide brand. What do you think it means to salons?
I would like to think that we mean loyalty. We need commitment. We mean gratefulness, generosity. That's what I'd like to think. We mean growing together. I don't know, how good of a job we are doing at it, but that's what this is our aspiration. That's our ambition to grow together in this industry that is like. It's an industry that I don't know. I found it fantastic because it's about beauty. It's about it's very human. It's I don't know. This time has been hit big time, because like it's been hit on this social distancing. This. But I think it's gonna be fine. We just need to hang in there. We need to. Last year was the best year in the history of the company. This year is going to be the worst year in the history, but that's okay.
You know okay. What? Though? I think it's going to be the best year because we're going to be on the backside of this thing together, right? I mean, that's
it's lots of learning for sure. Lots of learning, and but this is the in good and bad times. This is the moment. In bad times is the moment to show. It's too easy to be good when everything goes well, right?
Right. No, that's for sure. If you had to look at the Davide company 10 years from now, so we're approaching 2030, and Davide is where. What do you think Davide looks like that would make your father so proud?
Oh, my father was already proud.
I'm sure.
I think I look more at. I'd like to have in 2030 a world that has changed. The course of human race into a more sustainable journey, a regenerative economy, a happier world, a more just world. And Davide is with just a little grain of sand contribution to it, but that is the bigger picture. That's what a greener world, a more a world, let's say a regenerated world. That's what I'd like to see in 2030. And if the world is regenerated, Davide would be much better off. And actually, we'll be probably better off even if the world is more fucked up. For a lack of better word. But I prefer option one.
Right. 2030, no? Option one would be good. Would be good.
For 2030?
Yeah, for 2030, we have this regeneration 2030.eco, with a project on world happiness, because unfortunately we did some work on with the Bhutanese, no, with the happiness. We did a lot of work, and then we wanted to launch it, but it was like in the middle of this, in the middle of this crisis. It's like it's not the right moment. But in October we are putting together a very big effort with spiritual leaders, with private sector, universities on regeneration. That is like
wow,
the commitment that we have now, and you can follow it on the web.
that's very, very cool. That's very cool. Well, you've given us an entire hour of your time, which is unbelievable. I couldn't thank you enough for speaking with us and sharing your time with me. It's always great to see you. I'm so happy you had Alberto. Is there anything else you want to talk to the audience about before I let you go?
No, it's like every time I'm with you, Ward, with your nice smile, and it's like, for me it's a pleasure. So thanks so much for the amazing support. You mean a lot to us. And yes, we are going through a tough time, but we will we will make it. We'll go through it together. Let's not be opportunistic, not have shortcuts. Yeah, the evolution, there will be evolution. Let's drive the evolution together. The industries will stay strong. You know that we have so many countries that have already reopened in Europe and in Asia. Germany opened yesterday. Salons are fully booked until June.
Wow.
They have like 1-2 months. Denmark, Brian was telling us, the sister, she's booked until July.
Whoa.
So it's not that people say, oh, we are scared, we don't want to go to the hairdresser anymore. No, they are crazy. They are staying, they are booking. Like, there is no tomorrow. So guys, relax and rest on the couch, look at Netflix, because then it's going to be hard work, very hard work after,
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So take advantage, rest now, because then you won't have time to rest.
Yeah, that is great advice, because like you said, I don't think people are going gray tomorrow, right? The hair color's coming, the cuts are going to be profound, and we got to go rock and roll. I hope these hairdressers have their strength to work these 12-hour days, because they're going to need it.
Yeah, I think they should do gym and physical activity to prepare for it after. Like, go to the treadmill.
Yeah, right. And you know what? And it's great. It's great that you shared what's happening in the rest of the world, and of all the people that have that type of connection. It would be you and your company. I mean, that's awesome that Germany's doing that, and you're seeing it in other places.
All over the places: Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, all over the places where the salons are opening. Everybody has solid bookings. In Europe, Asia a little less, but in Europe, solid bookings.
Yeah, I think that is so smart. I mean, I think it's great advice for these guys to know that they're going to be up and running soon. Was there any hesitation before I let you go? Was there any hesitation right at first, or was it just people started coming in and they started booking, and that just
booking from day one? Booking from day one.
Were they booking 2 or 3 appointments at a time to make sure that they were booked for the remainder of the year type of thing?
That's a good question. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people are doing those kinds of things. But it's great, man. That gives us a lot of confidence here as California starts to open. Arizona's going to open this Friday. We're seeing the other states starting to open. Our friends up in Washington and Oregon. I was talking to Sydney Berry, and they're cautiously getting there. But we got across the country. Obviously, the other Davide distributors, we've been in contact, and just watching everybody move. It's such a interesting time for sure.
Now we still have to be careful, because this virus is very tricky. Very tricky. It's like you keep on talking to all the scientists. You have 10 scientists. They tell you 10 different things. Yeah. So there is still a lot to that. But let's the common sense, the social, physical distances plus wearing the mask, and I think we can. I used to see all these Asians wearing masks, and they never understood why these guys are wearing masks. I never understood why they were doing it. Now we understood why you are doing it. But I think that if we if we follow these basic principles, common sense principles, cleaning your hands,
sanitizer,
properly with, I think we can handle it, but we need to be careful. Is that we are not? It's not over yet.
See, everybody, you show the hand sanitizer. Now we're going to get all kinds of orders tomorrow, and I can't get it. I see how you are. We'll have to smuggle some in.
Yes, so let's do it. We have a model here. Let's.
Oh man!
So here we go.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Actually, it's really, really good.
It's very nice. We got a demo. We got a demo.
That's right.
See? I've already got people commenting, Davide. I want that. I want that.
These are the new, the new happy hour, with lots of alcohol inside.
That's right.
Stash. If I can send you some, Ward.
Oh, you guys are great. You guys are great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Davide, again. I can't wait to see you guys live and enjoy a cocktail together and some time. And I know it's not that far away, but man, it's always a pleasure to see you. And again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Ward.
Thank
you so much. We miss you a lot, and we'll hug each other properly soon. The next few months.
I love that. I love that. Ciao.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao. Ciao.
Bye. Thank you.